right over there.
Sure the hell is. I know, if I keep talking like this, it's not going to go away for the rest of the night. I'll be coming into work Monday morning. What you sons of bitches doing here? You queers? Come on now. You see the general? Oh, wait, that's my fusion. Never mind. I was doing something with whiskey over the weekend.
It runs on moonshine.
You guys got a doctor? Because I'm stuck. Wow. I'm stuck in sister mode. Come on now. All right, real quick, could you move over just a little bit? Score. We're good. Yep. All right, cool.
I'm hugging Doug.
Am I in the right
You want to
spot?
come back in? You gonna kick that song on now, some bitch?
What's that? Do we need to
Am I
make
in
the
the right
food?
spot?
No, we don't even have you on
You're
the
good.
camera.
Yeah, you're good.
You want the
Yeah, we
food
kept
out of
you
the
out,
way?
man. We edited you out when you did that bot. You said
All
you
this
wanted to
is
get
your
it out.
hand.
That's it. Just
Man, that hand's going somewhere we don't need to go right now.
Let's grab one. Good
Is that
idea.
loud
What?
enough? You want it louder or is
My
that
hand's like, let's clear up some stuff.
Oh, okay. Just listen to music. Oh, this is so nice.
Let me do this one. Stop it.
Got NHL.
Wait for Greg to sit down and I'll do this one.
Wait 1 second, please.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna pop another cigar too. So.
You got something going down there?
Jeez, I'm
Huh?
already
You got something going down?
I just want to.
Yeah, keep going.
All right.
Good night, honey. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Is that one of the peanuts? Yeah.
My daughter.
Nice.
So cute.
Gee, I grow hair on my head.
Ever had whiskey out of a straw?
We could do that right now if you wanted to.
You ever have whiskey between two
I don't think
titties?
this is
I have. No.
I don't think this is the whiskey you want to be sipping through a straw.
Alright, we lead it.
Isn't that called shrimping? No.
Oh my goodness. I thought of that and I didn't go there on purpose. And I can't believe
You're
anyone
just as
else.
dirty as I am.
Anyone else thought of that either, but anyway,
fucking freak.
here I thought, I can't even take credit for it now. Shit. It is
Alright,
what it
on
is.
that note,
Let's hear it, son.
I can't even talk after that. Welcome back to the Whiskey Roundtable. We are your hosts. I'm Joe Clark.
Big G.
Karen Helen Keller.
Doug Dunbar. Eric Black.
Carl Betti.
Here we go.
And I'm stuck with this voice. Somebody get me a doctor at this point.
Cletus is in the house.
Woo! We're going out cruising tonight. Yeah. Drinking dry. No, wait, never mind. You should be.
You lost your license. You're not
Right,
going
yeah, that's
anywhere.
right.
Dear Lord.
All right, well,
Your license to drink or drive?
I don't know.
This is
One of the
bicycle
two.
license.
One of those is either good, right? Okay.
It was his ex-wife's nickname.
We
Community
won't worry
bicycle.
about the driving.
All right, so we got so we knocked out the Bushmills 16-year first, and it was really good. Everybody was unanimously unanimous. I'm not even buzzed. Unanimous decision on 2 thumbs up.
Are you nervous too because Carl and Eric are here?
I sure am.
Maybe if you would bring back that southern drawl.
Yeah.
Well, nay, man, right here. Now we're getting down to Kentucky, good old land here now. So what we got is something out of a damn barrel. So it's called Who the hell is Elijah Craig? Well, what's barrel proof, Carl?
That's
What you
Noah's
trying to-
brother.
What you call me?
Oh my goodness.
All right, so he brought this over from the motherland, and we're going to do from usually which
Is that
is
Cleveland Heights, the motherland?
Sure, yeah. that's where whiskey comes from.
Yeah,
Usually we don't go from Irish to a bourbon. Well, actually, what am I saying? Some nights we go from one to everything. We're like, wow, we're going to do bourbon tonight. Then it's like Scotch, bourbon, whiskey, or Scotch,
try not to do
bourbon,
that anymore.
rye, Chicago, Utah, and we got California or California. Colorado, supercharged. So yeah, sometimes we mix all the things you shouldn't mix, but you can never do the Isla. I can't say it, man.
Isla?
I'm just gonna say it how it's written. Islay. Okay. So I'm just gonna do it
that's
like
your
that.
problem. Is
That's
you keep
fine.
focusing on the letters.
I can't do it. I cannot.
It sounds like it's from Bruns, Tucky.
That's right, bro. Man, that's how about you?
Just act like you're in Walmart. Where exactly is that Irish? It's in Isle of 4.
Aisle 14 Walmart behind the girl that had them weird pants on.
That's it.
Could you narrow it down a little bit?
Yeah, right.
Next to that dude. No. All right, so let's get back
Right
on track.
behind
So
a
Elijah
Mike Tyson
Craig,
t-shirt
barrel proof,
with a whiskey.
a something 117,
117.
and it's 127 proof.
127.0.
0.0. Oh, I have one more point on that one. 0. So we're gonna get back into that. Carl, tell us a little bit about the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof.
Well,
It's whiskey. No, I'm just sorry.
the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof series.
It's Annihilate.
I think they're putting out four a year,
I thought it was just the ABCs,
but it's 4 different batches a year, right?
correct.
Is that correct?
I believe so.
So kind of quarterly release.
Yeah, quarterly. It's kind of almost like Booker's.
Okay.
You know, they're putting out quarterly releases of them. This one, I really wasn't even sure because I have a bunch of them. So when I pulled it out, I just pulled one out and I said, all right, let's go with this one. So
Sure. Yeah.
A117 is 2017?
I believe the 17 tells me that it's the 17. The last
Last
two
A
digits.
being first batch.
I believe,
Okay.
I believe so. The
Okay.
A batch in the 1917 or 2017 is when it was released.
Cool.
Right. So, listen, they've all been well received. I know the B518,
Won awards last
yeah,
year.
that won Whiskey of the Year and all that. You know, I had a bottle of that. You know, at first I kind of thought to myself, well, oh man, I shouldn't have drank all that if it won the awards and everything. And I drank it and it was good. It was a great bottle. It lasted quite a while, but
Nothing
it
wrong
was
with
a great bottle. But you know what? What I found is almost all the other ones that I had after that were just as good. You know, I mean, it wasn't so significantly better than the rest of them. So any of the Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs that anyone's going to get out there
Good grab.
it's a good pick. You know, especially for the state of Ohio because of the price. You know, that's still a $50. What is it? $59 bottle. So $60.
Somewhere around $60,
Yeah.
but you know, they're going for double that on the secondary market.
Of course.
And they're going for roughly in the $69 to $70 in other markets. Just
Right. That's
retail.
That's
regular
what Hank was
retail.
saying. They posted some of those
So,
retail prices on
you
the
know,
site.
Yep.
$70.
So for us, you know,
It's a steal.
we get the
you
best
know,
price actually.
that's the only perk that we have being Ohio, being a state regulated state, is that we do, if we can get a product, the
MSRP.
price for that product is going to be right.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that's one of the perks of it, but you know, obviously we all know that there's a lot of drawbacks too. So,
Right.
But this happens to be, you know, one of the perks of it.
But you guys agree that the Ohio market is getting better.
It is getting better. It's significantly better over the last couple of years.
Yes.
It really has. A lot of products, a lot of different things. They're trying, just because they don't hit the mark every time. I'm trying to give, you know, a little credit where credit is due. They don't hit the mark every time. You know, a lot of the first raffles that they had were shit shows. You know what I mean? And
Right.
even a lot of them that they continue to have, not so great. Some of the bottles that they think that they should be raffling, probably not. You know, so they get a little crazy with some of it, but at the end of the day, most of that stuff are products that weren't available at all 3 years ago.
Right.
Period. You just couldn't get it. Not in Ohio, you weren't getting it.
Right.
You know, so I mean, you definitely weren't getting the Elijah Craig Barrel Proofs. You know, so you know, I mean, I guess you got to take the good with the bad and hope that they continue to improve.
This was first released what, last year? Or was it the year
In
before?
Ohio?
Yeah,
Yeah, last year.
last year.
Yeah.
I only had a sample of it from somebody else at Lizardville, and I remember liking it, but I don't remember it at all. It's just one of those things where I had so many drinks, I'm just like, oh yeah, that's good. You know what I mean? But I don't remember it all.
So for barrel proof stuff, at a reasonable price, it's comparable with Rare Breed.
that's a great drink too.
Right.
Rare Breed should be on everybody's shelf.
Yeah. So should this,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Yeah, I don't
You know,
know.
you should have it. Same thing, Stag Junior. These are all kind of in that category. Like if you were to do an actual tasting, those would be the bottles that would be in the tasting. You know, there would be Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, Stag Junior, Rare Breed,
And a Booker's.
Love
Yeah.
Booker's is good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
you
just
know,
saying, if you're going to put everything up at the 120 level,
Right.
the smallest on the proof there that you listed was the rare breed, and it sits right now at 116.
116.5.
Or whatever is their latest release. But you're right. The barrel proofs are always nice from a standpoint that, as you said in the previous, before we started, was it sits up high. You can always water it down yourself if you like. You can throw an ice cube into it very
And
easily.
sometimes you should. I mean, it's not always just I drink them neat. You know what I mean? That's the thing that people don't be afraid of water, ice. Like I'll just right now, Stag Junior. I don't even bother drinking it neat anymore because I already know what it is and where I'm at with it. So
Yeah.
I'm always gonna
Right.
put a cube with some Stag Junior, and that's it because it opens up and it's a beautiful thing. And I will, after I sip this one neat, I will probably add a little water to it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to just say, I mean, I don't know what anybody else say, but when you nose things like this, you see a lot of people dive right in. Be careful. You're going to get a nose full of fumes. You don't want to burn your nose up when you first go into it. Take a moment, take a slow get in, let it open up.
So, and along those lines too, for a lot of, and this is really for a lot of the new people, co-op members and things like that that aren't real familiar with Glencairn glasses or nosing bourbons and things like that, or whiskeys in general. When you're nosing a whiskey, first of all, my preference is a Glencairn. So a lot of different glasses out there. People learn what they want. I prior to getting Glencairns, I didn't really think it was a big deal. But once I actually got one and I noticed, and
Big difference.
there's a big difference.
Oh,
And
yeah.
one good way though, and to make sure that you're nosing properly, is always when you're nosing, don't close your mouth. You gotta open your lips a little bit and allow you to breathe, because you'll notice a big difference from closing your mouth with your lip parts
Limited.
versus
Correct.
big difference.
Opens it up.
So open your mouth a little bit, nose it, and like he said, especially with some higher proof stuff like this, you just kind of don't snort up.
I'll take an even another step to going back to a 101 that someone showed me, and that is if you've got a Glencairn, put your thumbs over both sides, give yourself a little bit of opening, then put your nostril over it. Do one nostril at a time, because your nostrils will be better each day, and it'll swish. But you can actually get a nice nose without actually having to shove your nose into the glass, and you don't get the fumes up as fast. So, especially something like this, you'll see me. I'll just throw one of these things in to get it before I dive in. Get my nose acclimated.
I always give it a bit of a swirl too, just because you want the air, you want it to open up a little bit. Some bourbons, just right out of a freshly opened bottle,
That's what I usually do. That's always been my thing.
Yeah,
I do
I
a
do
couple
too.
swirls.
are
and
gonna
then-
be, it have the potential to be, sometimes you can smell it right away. It'll smell like nail polish remover.
Yeah.
It needs to oxidize
Some
a
drinks
little bit.
continue to smell like nail polish, like cutting
And they
soap.
do, but you know what? You're right. But sometimes, even though they stink like nail polish remover or something like that, but then when you sip them, they're good. It's a strange thing.
I will say
But
that
I will
Cutty
always
Sark,
like to get a little.
continues the tradition of tasting like nail polish removal.
Makes a damn good Manhattan, right?
Makes a damn good Manhattan.
So when you were talking about putting your thumbs over the glass, is that something you do when you know it's a higher proof?
I actually have done. I've actually. Someone told me about this, and I've actually made it a habit, even on some of the lower ones, just to see. Part of it is that the swirl helps a little bit, in my opinion, but then you also have to let it settle, because what you've done is you've kicked up a lot of that alcohol, that nail polish remover fume, and you got to let it come down. By doing this, I'm also keeping some of the flavor sense in. There's also the side of, if you've been smelling a lot of things and you haven't been you either reset your nose, you can smell yourself.
So you're saying some of the notes you may lose some of them by
well,
not? Or
I mean, I have
or
found that
just making those notes
after,
more pronounced.
I've found that sometimes if I swirl it and I stick my nose right into it, I get hit full alcohol.
Yeah, I agree.
It doesn't matter whether it's a high proof or not. And so I've learned, and again, it's biased, and it's just my experience. And everybody's got difference, and so you find what you like. There is no wrong way to drink your whiskey, in my opinion, and there's no wrong way to sip or smell your whiskey.
Sure.
You find what you like, and I have found that you show people different things so that they can find their own path.
Yeah, I get you, because the first few times I smelled some of the higher proof whiskeys, it's like, whoa, it's like almost made me cough. You know, you get that instant power, that instant burn, which, you know, and when you drink it, you're like, wow, I'm not getting the heat or the alcohol that I smelled, so that it's right in line with what you're saying.
Well, and the other thing is that by doing my nose, my hands here, I can control, and I don't feel like I'm awkward. I mean, yeah, it looks awkward no matter what you're doing, but if I'm sitting there going like this, you know, I got a pinky out and all that other bullshit, but
Right.
but if I got down, you know, I'm down
What are
here.
you talking about?
Miss Moffat over
here.
here. But no, but it's one of those things that I've learned that sometimes it helps control. I can then sniff at my own pleasure. I can pull in as fast as I want, and I don't get burned on a heavy alcohol, especially if you've been doing something. So it's
wow.
it is a different tactic, I guess, if you have to say. And I'm not saying it's perfect. It's just something that I have learned that sometimes works for me, especially when I go in. And I found that, especially in the higher proof stuff, it has helped me appreciate the whiskey more, especially in the nose. And then on the taste, I've gotten more flavors out of the taste. So it was just something different.
I will say my thumbs smell great.
You know. Let's see this thumb over here.
Should we put a disclaimer like make sure you wash your thumbs?
Yeah.
You don't know. You never know where that thumb has been.
I know where my thumbs have been. I don't know where you know, I'm not, you know, John Candy and Martin, you know, Steve Martin, you know, those are two pillows kind of a thing.
Oh dear. Those aren't pillows.
Those aren't pillows.
So,
No, but it is. It's an amazing difference because when you do open it up full glass and smell it, you do get that alcohol smell.
right.
But when you put your thumbs over it, it contains the alcohol,
It lightens it up.
and you can smell some of the other things that are going
I
on.
agree. I got a little more out of it when I just did it for a second and everything. So
As I
that's
said,
not a bad.
it doesn't work every single time. It doesn't work for everybody. Again, we're educating ourselves. We're having a conversation about some damn stuff here, and it's
Some shit.
some shit.
I just,
Some shine, but I think
Some
you guys bring a wealth of knowledge just as much as we do, and the whole thing about it is just having the conversation.
I don't know shit. I'm just
some of the
drinking
higher proof
some whiskey.
stuff, I'll actually kind of let it a little farther away.
Yeah.
Yep.
When I start out, just kind of wave it around a little bit, and then
But you're right.
kind of go into it once you get
Gotta
past
let
that
it kind
alcohol.
of sit for a minute after you swirl. then come
But you're
back.
right. It's like, but you're acclimating your nose by doing that
Right.
because you're letting some of the perfume, some of the scents come up and the oils come to you, and then you go into it, and now you've got a different appreciation. You've got a different taste on your tongue. So you know, you nose it, you taste it. I've actually had someone tell me that. Who was it? Eddie Russell, I think it was. He said when you take a whiskey, take the whiskey to the tip of your tongue and just let it sit there and pull your tongue back in and bring it down. Now your tongue has started to feel that whiskey and started the tasting sensations. Take a nose and then do your sip. Because now what you've done is you started the acclimatation of your tongue. Just an idea.
I had a tip given to me. I think you guys were here. Anyway, given to me about it was one of the I don't know, waitress / bartenders at Lizardville, Bedford. She said that she actually lives out here in Chardon. To take a little on your tongue and then kind of wipe it around your mouth, then take your nose, then take your hit.
Yeah, when
And,
you sip it,
Sure.
definitely
Yeah.
you should. Well, like everybody, as he was saying, everybody's different. But I'll sip it. I'll let it wash over, like just a slow sip. You don't want it to go right to the back of your mouth. You know what I mean? You want it to wash over your tongue in front, move it a little bit to side, and then slowly, wash down your palate. And this way, you get a full range of it. It's not swishing it around like a mouthwash or anything like that. But it's literally taking it in, such as I'll just do.
Just to get a nice coat. Well, I guess let's just go into this.
I guess we're going in.
Take a nose on it.
Carl and I have been talking on this. What do you guys say?
All right, so it's fruity as can be.
It is.
Okay, so when you guys first, Eric, I think you poured it out. The first scent I got, not even coming to my nose when it was put on the table, it's very aromatic. It
Right.
breathes out heavy.
Oh, yeah,
And I could smell the fruitiness to it.
Yeah,
right
high
off the
ethanol
rip.
too. I mean, it's
Yeah.
got a hard ethanol right to it, but it's not as harsh ethanol on the palate as it is on the nose.
It's got a lot of that dark fruit to it, to me, like that Bush Mills did.
It
I get a
does.
lot of
It's again with the like orange zest.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit tannin for me.
It's got a dry finish.
Yeah. But sorry, I will tell you right now that this is a bourbon that I will definitely put a little water in it to open up, without a doubt.
It's the first
I mean,
thing I thought of as soon
That's
as
the first thing. As soon
I
as I had tried it, everything
haven't
like
tried
I
it
like
yet.
all that. But this is definitely.
So you guys get kind of a little minty to
I
it.
was
Yeah,
going
I
to say
do.
on the finish, I've
little
got a
bit,
bit of a mint.
Yeah.
But when I say the dry finish, and this is more for people who, if you know what you're talking about, a dry finish, is it the back of my tongue is almost like the leathery,
That leather tannin.
the leather
kind of.
tannin, and your tongue feels dry afterwards. Like
I get an oak, heavy oak out of it.
right.
do too.
Yes.
I get a heavy oak out of it.
All right, so it even smells significantly different.
You want to pass me a little bit of that water? I got a sparkling over here. I don't want to bubble up the good stuff here.
So adding the water to that, to me,
Totally different.
yeah, but it brings out a lot of that fruit also.
Tones down the alcohol.
I don't know if you guys get the
Buttery,
yeah, and
almost like a
Butterscotch.
yeah.
I almost get a small banana scent to it.
Which is unusual on an Elijah.
Yeah.
I don't normally find a banana.
Very common.
Do you get that?
You'll find that very common
the
on your
water?
Old Forester.
Yeah, that's where I'm saying the banana is a typical Old Forester thing.
But I'm getting that with the water. That's me. But
I like it.
What do you think, Greg?
I like it. I agree with what they're saying. I get,
Yeah, now
good,
that
a lot of. I get vanilla,
Bananas
caramel. I
Foster.
get.
That's where you're going with it. I taste that caramel. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
you,
no,
Greg,
go.
But I taste
Go.
that butterscotch caramel that you would,
Mhm.
and that's where maybe I'm thinking I would agree with you. Maybe you
I
get a little
have.
banana. It's that burnt caramel that you.
yeah,
char,
there's definitely a
finish.
charred caramel to it.
There's
Yeah.
that burnt
Yeah.
caramel that you put on a bananas Foster after you shook
Oh, yeah.
and burned it.
like
That's
like
what
a
I'm
creme
getting.
brulee type
Yeah,
of.
but it's
Huh.
not a
Okay.
strong banana on it. It's just
Yeah.
it's
Caramelized sugar.
Yeah, it's a caramelized sugar. Thank
What do
you.
you
It's all like a pecan or a walnut type of.
Doug? What do you think?
Definitely, yeah, some definite nuttiness. Did somebody say leather?
Yes.
Yeah,
I get a little, in a good way though. Not,
it's towards the end on that leather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes.
Apparently you
I
do.
do.
I have to say I
Have you
like.
drink- it's very, I like this one
No, you
because
like
I
it,
always
bastard.
like
No, I got some caramel.
with certain things.
I do.
Did you
The
want me to take it
mouthfeel
off?
on this is
Yeah.
not.
You want to? You want? I took. You want me to put
No,
some
I
of that-
Why
wanted
you
you
got
to
that
take
look?
it off.
Can we clean your?
No, you know what? For a newbie,
She's
it's
not used
hard
to
for
high.
me.
Yeah, she's
It's-
not.
So
It makes-
that's but that's when you use a little more water. That's all.
I did. I
Alright.
put a little bit more.
Of
I
what?
put a little bit
That?
more of this.
No,
That's sparkling water.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not a good thing.
No, well,
Here,
to each his own. But I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't do
the,
that.
the sparkling water is you're gonna break up the oils
Okay.
with the carbonation, and some of what we're telling you, and that's why also I knew you were a little bit newbie. That's why I was saying to do the hand thing, is that this is going to be hot, no matter what
It's a
you
hot
do
drink.
with it. If you're not used to a proof here, and I just added more water.
You want me to put some in yours, honey?
No, no, here. I
No,
just
go ahead.
I just watered that down pretty good. That's a second water I dipped on that, but don't blow yourself away with it. The whole
But,
idea with this is to enjoy it and to have the experience. And I understand things over 100 proof aren't going to be for everybody.
Correct.
Doesn't matter how much water you add to it.
Correct.
But if you say it's not for your jam, it's not your jam.
Right. I agree.
So,
But that little bit of water, it blossomed.
So you're
so
a nay.
but see, she still has that kind of.
So she doesn't like the heat, I think, is what.
Right.
It
But
is.
that's
It's
okay.
very spicy.
So what I would say to you is, like, even at that point, while he used a certain amount of water that was, within his parameters,
Sure.
you might want to go a little deeper. So this type of bourbon right here is a perfect type of bourbon for a person like you to use a sphere or a large cube.
Square.
Just pour it over it and let it set.
Yeah.
And it'll dissipate properly, and it's going to dissipate slow, but it's going to allow you, it's going to basically water it down to the point where
see
it's
that water.
palatable for you. A lot of people just like putting a sphere or a giant cube in there because it looks cool. Yeah, it looks cool, but it doesn't really serve
The purpose.
The purpose.
Yeah, it actually ruins it.
when you get this, like a Stag Junior, for a lot of people, even me, I'm fine if it's a well-made sphere that'll melt slowly. Then I'm all for it. You know what I mean? That's fine because it's sipping, it's strong. We're not trying to drink it fast and get out of control real quick.
Sure.
A drink like this can last me an hour and a half. It's not going to today, but typically, if I were to pour, a right amount over a sphere and let it set, I could probably sip on something like that for an hour or more.
Yeah.
And for you, just you can tell. Don't be afraid to use the water, especially if it's something, because I'll tell you. You will find a flavor profile in there that all of a sudden tastes great.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So
you
I
just got to
watered
get
this
it to
down quite a bit.
Yep.
Just because I wanted to see, and to me, it becomes a caramel bomb at
Yep.
that point.
Yeah.
It's a heavy caramel bomb.
But it's
But
still got
it's-
that. It's still got that peppery spice.
It
which
does
I
have
think
the
is where
peppery
it's
spice,
heavy.
but it's a heavy
palatable.
caramel bomb.
Very
And
palatable.
It actually takes away some of the heavy fruit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's exactly what I just said. It becomes a super caramel bomb. 'Cause
So-
I added a lot. I probably didn't do 50-50. I'm probably at 70-30 on water right now. And it's really good, man. It's
Yeah.
I just had a few drops.
Like even I'm going to put a little more water.
That
in
just
this
seemed
one.
to
Want to try this cut?
amplify everything that I was tasting.
Go ahead.
Carl, let me ask a question. So you mentioned about the sphere.
Right.
Does the temperature change anything? So you've got the
Yeah,
ice
sure.
and it chills it.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, it'll take away from it a little bit. If people like stuff on the rocks, that's definitely going to change the flavor, the natural flavor profile, or what you have. It's even when it opens it up a little bit, the chilled, but sometimes that's where people's palate is, you know what I mean? That's what they're a mixed drink person, they're whatever person. They don't like the heavy alcohol or even a lot of the heavy wood notes and things like that a bourbon brings, and so they'll put ice in it.
Maybe we should
Right.
put Coke or ginger ale in it. What do you think?
Well,
I think he's gonna hit you, is
Well,
what I think.
I will tell you.
Us people, meaning the guys who actually like to drink it straight,
Yeah.
they would say no, we don't. We prefer it not. On the other hand, I would still go back to our original comment. You drink your
Your
whiskey,
whiskey
the way you like it.
All right, so I will say this. I had a guy make me a Kentucky Mule one time, and I thought it was fantastic. I would have a problem using a really
Is that the water? Dude? Thank you.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
like a really high. Well, I don't know.
High priced.
I don't know about high price. Just a really good quality bourbon that I love sipping neat or with just a little bit of water. To use that bourbon in a Kentucky Mule, I personally would probably have a little bit of it. I wouldn't want to do that. But if there was a bourbon that wasn't ridiculously priced but was a decent bourbon, a good bourbon, to make a Kentucky Mule, I would be, I would drink a Kentucky Mule. I wouldn't drink it like every day. It wouldn't be anything like that. But there's a couple good ones, that are like I don't, But you got to make it right too. Like I personally tried to make one day, not so good.
Right.
And that's
It's an art to make a good mixed drink.
That's me.
Well, it is, and we've done a couple of shows where they talk about the Kentucky Derby and the mint juleps, and there's a specific, bourbon
Right.
that you do for
Correct.
that. So I understand what you're talking about.
Like the Old Forester 100 proof, the regular, it's I don't know, I don't have but that's it's good bourbon. It's 100 proof, and it's $23, $24.
Yeah.
An old granddad, bottled in bond, and let's just make that
Excellent
clear.
drink.
Only the old granddad bottled in bond. Or if you want to go to OGD 114, you can do that if you want to
Excellent
kick it up a
drink.
notch. If you want to kick it up a notch, but I would happily drink a Kentucky Mule made with those products, and it's good. You know what I mean? I'm all over it.
Cheap drinks too.
Yeah,
That's what's great about the, like a lot of, I don't know why it's been my kick for.
I think
a
the
while.
old granddad.
My everyday drinkers. I don't drink Bushmill 16 every day. I don't drink Kentucky Owl every day. I don't drink a 18-year-old Glen Ross every day. Everyday drinkers for me got to be something cost effective because I'm not drinking a $100 bottle every day. So my your Buffalo Trace, I can't drink regular Buffalo Trace anymore because I
either.
don't like it. I think it's disgusting
Greg's
at this
fault.
point. It's this guy's fault. Once we got into the Ohio Pick single barrel, and then further on to the other, I don't know how many barrel picks you have at this point, but I can't do it anymore because for
There's a significant
literally
difference from the single barrel
Oh, amen.
$2 more.
to the big,
It's an amazing drink.
You like?
and
you
a lot
like,
of guys
you
knock
like Buffalo Trace,
Trace.
Eric, or no? I like
You know what? I've had one bottle, and I would agree that your single barrel or your picks are a stronger source.
Light years ahead.
At the same time, you turn around and you got to say, how many times are you going to find out a single pick? But you turn around and you sit back and you say, now turn around and use, I think where you're going to go with this, and line that up against your early times bottled and bond, which is a generally sourced, not single barreled situation for roughly the same cost. The difference between the two are two different proofs. Also, as a bottled and bond, you're a minimum of 4 years, whereas your Buffalo Trace may not be quite at 4 years. So now you're talking two different animals in the bourbon world.
Sure.
I'd turn around and say, and I know everybody's jumping down the throat, but that Henry McKenna at 10 years, single barrel, bottled and bond. How the hell?
How much is that?
$35. Now it's flying off
For
the
a
shelves.
10-year-old bourbon.
Wow.
That's unheard of
We've
anymore,
had it
and they're
for a while.
keeping it like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. Henry McKenna. Somebody made a comment on the group, I think a couple days ago. It's just not. Everybody has their drink. I'm never. When I share my opinion, sometimes people get butt hurt on the group. It's not. It's just an opinion.
Right.
Everybody's
Everybody
got an
has their
asshole,
drink.
Everybody's got an opinion.
True.
Thank you. That's my fucking saying right there. But it's just an opinion. Everybody's got their preference of their drinks. But for a 10-year-old bourbon at $35, used to be like in the high 20s, 30. But anyways, at $35,
It used to be 28. but that-
right? Yes. And You can't. I mean, it's a 10-year-old bourbon. It's like this back in the day, and I don't know if we'll ever try it or not. But I think I'm gonna try to twist his hand on it or twist. This was $11.49 back in the day. I don't know how old that sticker is, but this place supposedly has had this stuff in stock for over 15 years, and we got some. That's an 8-year-old bourbon for $11. I don't know what it tastes like. Could be gross, but at 8 years old, I took a chance at it. Because most
wouldn't you?
8-year-old bourbons are probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I got a couple questions about that bottle, but other than that,
we'll
agree
discuss
with
it after the show.
Yeah,
but,
I agree.
when you go, like what you said about early times, Bottled and Bond and Buffalo Trace, it's hard to get the store pick Buffalo Trace stuff.
I don't
but
think they're comparable though.
Right,
but
that's where I was going with it.
Hold on, I'm just saying for price, but there are places online you can get it. So if you buy one bottle, is it worth it? I don't know. Last time I bought Buffalo Trace regular here in Ohio at some podunk store, not podunk store, kind of a hood store with bars on the windows. I just walked in and I was like, what do they got? They had nothing but Buffalo Trace, so I bought it. It was almost $30 after tax. Okay, so if I go online,
27 tax, right?
yep. So I went online. If we go online, we can buy with shipping for about the same price a store pick single barrel.
True.
So if you buy a few of those at a time, you're averaging a couple. You're actually less into each
I think
bottle
when I
with
was
shipping.
when I was buying
It's 10 times a drink.
when I was first buying the single barrels, I was getting them for $19, $19.99.
Yep.
Then now it's $21.99.
Yeah.
But still with
Come on,
shipping,
$21.99.
it's still so. If you buy a single barrel in Ohio, it's $34 plus tax.
Right.
It's still cheaper to buy it online.
Yes.
And you're talking what distillery?
Buffalo
Buffalo
Trace.
Trace.
Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace is the distillery. Buffalo Trace is also the brand that they came out and made. Rewind it. We've got here multiple different experiences, multiple different opinions, and I would almost caution people to say, try the Buffalo Trace. It's still a solid product.
Absolutely.
It is still
Still
I'm
one
not
of my
taking that
go-tos.
away. And I didn't
Solid
mean
product.
to.
Without
I didn't
a
mean to
doubt.
down it like that.
It should
but-
always be in your bar.
Yeah.
Somebody should have that.
It
They
is-
should give that to people who are entry-level bourbon
Absolutely.
drinkers and say, "Try this," because
It
they
is a
will.
classic
They
profile.
will love it.
It is a classic profile. It is a nice, lovely whiskey, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
So this
It's
is where we disagree.
Well,
What-
take a look at it.
Because the price went up in Ohio.
I'm not taking the price into it. I'm just saying from a standpoint of the whiskey itself.
Sure.
And then turn around and say, what is your experience? If your experience has been that all I've had is picks, which again, for everybody out there who doesn't know, a pick is when you go out and get a single barrel. It is my pick. Anything in there is made mine. I take it. And it's going to probably because it has a different profile. There are people who do picks because they want to have a cool sticker. But
Some
they
of
want-
them are horrible.
and they
That's true.
and they're
Right,
and they're
well,
not
they-
great.
they don't know how to
and
pick.
others are
Right.
trying to do a pick because they want something to call it a pick, but similar profile to what that whiskey is in a small batch or in a normal process. And others want to take a look at it and say it's the same distillant, mash bill, everything process, but has a unique flavor or note, whether it's on the nose or the palate, that they want to then say, mine.
Right.
And so when you take those things out, you really kind of have to be careful. And again, as you get more in depth in the bourbons, especially, is to say, kind of like we were doing with the Bottle and Bonds. Is it a 10-year single barrel, Henry McKenna? Is it a 7-year, early times, or 6-year, Heaven Hill, no longer made? Or is it just a Bottle
Great
and Bond, which just means it's a minimum of 4 year? Minimum. That doesn't mean that it could be 6, 8, 10.
Right.
They're just saying minimum.
I
think-
it
and I-
meets the requirement.
Correct. And now you turn around and you can't, all those things have a little bit of a different taste in my opinion. And then you turn around and you sit down and you say, what is my Evan Williams single barrel?
Great
25
drink.
$25. Or what is my Evan Williams just green white label, not even the Bottle and Bond, just standard. Again, nice, early, walk in, take care of it. It probably lines up. What are you looking for? Is the end, my end point on it all is.
Sure.
If you are somebody who's just experiencing it, try one. Go to a bar if you don't want to buy the entire bottle. Try
Yes.
it. Go to another,
Highly recommend it.
try another one.
Yeah.
Then go out and find a bottle that you say, hey, I had it at the bar, I like it, I can actually have it in my house, and I will then drink it more.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I say that a lot on the co-op. People are like, I don't know if I want to spend $60 or $100.
Then
I said,
don't.
dude, go to Lizardville. That's like the cheapest bar you're going to find for whatever pour you're looking for. They're going to have it.
They're gonna
Usual
have
pricing
everything,
on
yeah.
whiskey is
And they're like,
definitely-
well, I don't want to spend $6 or $10 and then have to spend. Okay, would you rather spend $80 and be disappointed, or $6 or $10 or $13 and be disappointed?
Sometimes you can't reason with people that have
No,
that
right.
type of logic.
Right.
Right.
No.
No, I would rather lose on $10 to $15 than $80, and then
Right.
or experience $5 to
Some
$20
people
on a
can't-
pour and be like, I love it, and then go buy
I
it.
think that
You
they
know what
set
I mean?
themselves up
Right, you got
to
it.
lose all the way around because they already have a preconceived notion that they're not going to like it.
Right.
I've
And so at that point
there's-
they feel they wasted their money or they got somehow taken or what have you, and you can't help that kind
And
of
you're going to make those mistakes, and that's the beautiful thing about the journey, is that even things that I hate, that I don't like from before. So as an example, I've always downed Lafroig. So there's a Lafroig 10-year over there that's actually cast strength. And Greg's like, oh, I'm not drinking. And I poured it last week. And my opinion kind of changed on it a little bit. So once I got past the smoke and the heavy peat, I just sat there, I'm like, I get it. Like the flavor actually afterwards, after you get past that, is really good. Am I gonna go buy another bottle of it? Probably not. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I like to understand why people like a certain drink. I don't know if that makes sense, but I like to see that viewpoint of other people and be like, okay, I get it.
It's a difficult thing to do, though.
Yeah.
Because everybody's palate's a little different.
Sure.
Bottles, you open a bottle right now, and you may not like it. And we've all done this, and then go back and revisit that bottle 6 months later, and oh man, wait a minute, what's going on?
Right.
That's a different.
Sometimes they air out, and it's a different
not the
drink.
bottle I
Yeah.
couldn't stand. Now all of a sudden, I actually like that pretty well. So there's a lot of different things you can play into your palate. You say, well, originally you had it, you didn't care for it.
Many times I didn't care for it.
All right, many times you didn't care for it.
Right.
Therefore, we could kind of almost rule out the fact that it wasn't a freshly opened bottle that you didn't care for, and it didn't. Now you let it rest a little while, and boom, all of a sudden, it's got something. So, several times, saying that maybe it's just your palate that's changing.
Oh, it always is.
Your
I
palate
said that
changes.
last
All our
episode.
palates
I
are
said,
changing.
well,
and
Constantly, always.
And that's why we also have, like you asked earlier, how many do I have in my collection? Well, I got 30 open. Damn it. Why? Well, because at one point in time, I was just a Bushmills guy. I was just a, Henry McKenna guy. I had 2 bottles in my
I
bar.
was just a regular Buffalo Trace guy.
I just had 2
Right.
bottles in my bar. That's
right.
all I had. And over time, I've learned that I still like those, but I wanted to expand myself. I wanted to challenge myself. There
Yeah.
were some things I wanted. It's not for everybody.
That's the
I
fun
get that.
part of it.
And so now I'm at a different level, and now I have 30, and I'll go down and I'll look. What do I feel like today? Well, pour something.
Or how did I get to this point?
Yeah,
we all-
that's when I push way back behind the glass. But I'll open up, I'll pour something, and I'll be like, that did
It's
hit me
okay.
today. I need something
It's
else.
okay.
But
I
that
actually steered you in this direction.
It's all your fault, Joe.
I know.
But I've actually, I mean, I'll take a look at it. It's like I've only met you guys a few times, and every time it's been a fun time. It's one of the things that I've actually enjoyed, even outside the co-op. I've met more people through either podcasts or Facebook or some of those other things, but where I've actually gotten the most enjoyment out of this hobby, let's be honest and call it
a hobby.
has been interaction. Whether that's texting somebody, I'm in a group chat that's probably got 4 different podcasters in it, and probably 5 other guys who we all support each other. We talk daily. bullshit. One guy had a baby the other day. Guess what? There's now 9 of us pooling money to go buy this guy a bottle, and none of us live in the same freaking state. You take a look at that, and you just sit back and you say, outside of a whiskey roundtable, and you just say some of the camaraderie that happens just in the hobby conversation is very cool.
Sure.
It's whiskey. You know, it's
It loosens our inhibitions.
It's cool how something as simple as that can bring people together.
people from all walks of life. Every race, color, creed, religion does not matter. And that was one of the big things about, the co-op was we you don't talk politics, don't talk religion, don't do any, none of that is, we don't tolerate any of it, you know what I mean?
Same on the show.
And it comes down to, everybody abides by that, and the funny thing about it is everybody comes together and gets along for one common thing, and all of a sudden, all those other things
don't really matter.
Are you saying maybe the whole country should just start drinking together?
And
follow those rules.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's it.
I think we start at Carl's house, work our way to Fairview, come home through Strongsville.
That's it.
Right. Oh, Hank's got to be down there somewhere, right?
So he's in Brunswick, so after
Brunstucky.
Brunstucky, because he was way, just
Don't
when
we
you
know
think
it?
you've gone far enough,
Don't we know it?
Yeah, we do. Just when you think you've gone far enough, just go a little more, and that's where you'll find him.
All right, guys. We have gone way over time in this show, and I'm just going to slam through some news real quick.
When you're done with the news, I got one thing to add.
So, scored a bunch of old label Duff Shelf bourbon here. So we got a couple old label Old Foresters. We have old label Old Forester. Then we have a Dalmore 12-year old label. And these bottles were sitting around probably for over a decade for sure. Sitting on shelves. And we got a Joshua Brooks 8-year. I don't know what it is. I've never tried it, never seen it. Nobody has it anymore. We have a Jim Beam Rye that has been confirmed at 1995, Mr. Eric.
Yes, laser code said 95.
That is the old yellow label rye. Then we got the old label Old Ezra, number 7, 101
Green
Sippin'
label.
Whiskey.
Beautiful.
Green label.
Good stuff.
We have Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson's Old River. And that
This is the Old River.
Old River.
On them old Ezra.
6-year-old.
You see those out there? There's still a few out there in the wild.
And this was the Old Forester. I think it's the same.
Yeah,
as
that's right. Show
Same
it
one.
anyway.
Yeah.
Show it anyway.
Hey, Old Forester ending the
There's Old Forester there.
You showed that Willie Nelson?
Yeah, we did that, Willie.
So we got he did the Willie.
You touch
Then
Willie?
guests are lining up for the show, it seems like this year, and schedule in. Come on in, guys. So they got a new scotch out from Lagavulin. It's the Ron Swanson scotch. If you guys ever watch Parks and Recreation, he always had Lagavulin, so they're coming out with the Ron Swanson edition. It is 11 years old. He has been seen many times on the show with it. Another one coming out is Glenlivet. We'll never be able to afford this. 50-year. It's 150 bottles, and it's $25,000 MSRP.
I was going to say, it's probably...
We should all pitch in.
Couple of them,
Right.
I got $5.
Hey,
I was
honey,
gonna say,
honey, we're not retiring anytime soon.
The Spring 19 edition of Old Fitz is rolled out, and
The decanter?
yes.
Okay.
What year?
So it is a 13-year.
13-year.
It is $130, folks.
Yep.
We also have a new rye, lip service rye, Tennessee rye, $32, March 2019. So
What
here
is
now.
that? Hold
It's
on.
from Savage and Cook. Lip
Okay,
service rye,
And
Tennessee rye.
So, is that going to be in Ohio?
Nationally
National.
sold,
So
$32.
Is that the... we talked about...
So that not necessarily be an Ohio release because
They said everywhere, so I don't know. We'll find
so
out.
who puts it out?
Savage and Cook.
It's a
do
young
they have
story.
anything by them on an Ohio
It's-
shelf?
it-
Because
I don't
Ohio.
think so, no.
How Ohio works is every single label has to be approved. Okay, so if it's not something that like even our Old Forester, prior to Winking Lizard and us, which was the only two at first, to do the Old Forester single barrel, that was not an approved label. Now it is an approved label, which means that they could bring it in them and put it on their shelves
Oh, beautiful.
if they
Yes.
want. But
So because of us, we might get Old Forester? Single barrel?
single barrel, correct.
Possible.
Because
Quite hot.
I guess we're gonna have to give the
Gotcha,
credit.
bitches.
We'll give I think we're gonna have to give the credit to Wink and Lizard. They beat us by a couple weeks, but they pushed through that label. You know, you have to fill out if you want a label approved in the state of Ohio. There's a lot of paperwork and everything that goes through to it. They don't just approve any and all labels. You know, for instance, you know these guys. You know, Old Forester is a huge distillery, and so they don't put stringent requirements on huge, or worldwide or multinational brands as much as they do like small brands, like even local small brands, Tom's Foolery, Middle West Spirits, and things like that. They have to offer more than one type of spirit. I think it's 3 actually. Like so, not only do you have bourbon, but you're going to have a vodka. You're going to have a gin or a rum or something like that in order for the state of Ohio to approve and carry your products. Period. So there's a lot of small distilleries, like one in particular. What's it called? Old Homicide, which is a little west of Toledo. Well, the only thing that guy makes is bourbon, and you know, he wanted to put his product on an Ohio shelf, and they told him no. Because do you produce a gin? Do you produce a vodka?
You gotta be kidding.
There's something else.
Well, that's just a way of keeping
Well-
small boutique guys out of it.
Well, maybe that originally was just about, you know, they had a theory about how they wanted to offer and make the numbers and things to their benefit, that they could, that, you know, it was all about a number, what they could sell. That's why they didn't want to carry all the rare stuff, because the sheer volume of what they could sell wasn't a Jack Daniels, you know what I mean, where it's just crazy. And so they said we can't push enough volume of these products to do it, so then they put the requirement of multiple products in order to carry their label. But each label, individual label, even other labels from places like Old Forester, each label has to be approved by the state. That's why you don't see a lot of things that like multiple products.
It's okay. It's okay. We got
Magnus.
Yeah.
Magnus puts out a few different products, but the state of Ohio only has one approved label. So you don't see their other products because they only prove the one.
Okay.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? So that's kind of, you know, how that stuff goes. So when you were talking about the one that said, is that going to be in Ohio? Well, if they have other products, maybe they're, you know.
We'd have to research that because the parent company is Savage and Cook, and it's a
Well-
Tennessee whiskey maker. So.
Well, and I just Googled Savage and Cook Distillery, and it's owned by Napa Valley winemaker
Oh,
Dave
there you
Finney.
go.
And it's located on Mare Island, and it opened in 2018.
So is there a list of their other products?
Let's see. I can,
Napa Valley is, they're
it's
well-known
outside of San
winemaker.
Francisco.
Right. So it's not.
So they probably have
Okay,
multiple products, and they get
It's
approved.
possible.
Oh,
but
they have Burning Chair.
Oh, you have that over there.
Yes, we
That's
do.
one of
have
theirs.
that.
You were
Eyeballing
just,
that
you were eyeballing. You were like, what the hell?
That's good stuff.
All right, guys. So what did you have, real quick?
Well, I was going to say, didn't we talk about that lip service before? And I was going to say I thought it had something to do with a non-bourbon company, but we
There we
talked
go.
about something like that, and that's why I was going to cut in and say, wait a minute, we talked about this before.
Yeah, you're right.
But-
It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so okay.
All right, guys.
Well,
I
wait a
think
minute.
We got one.
I got one other thing I want to talk about.
Okay.
Sorry, I know we're way past our time.
Oh, we're 2 hours.
That's all right. Carl brought in something I think that we should take a look at.
Ah, yes. Right.
Okay.
All right, G, I
Yeah.
think you should open this, so I'm going to hand it to you.
Okay.
Go for it.
Dear.
Just put it right on the table.
Bang the mic
So-
around.
Bang the mic around.
It's
that's
all
fine.
good.
As much as it may not matter to other people, I actually thought it was of exceptional how it
Unbelievable.
looked and how it came, you know.
I'm going to show it to
And
you guys.
since you guys were all involved
Oh, wow.
in the pick,
Oh my God.
the pick itself, so this was,
Which camera you got, Joe?
Whichever one you want to go to.
Going right over there.
Okay.
Wrong one. There you go.
So me and Joe Clark had a hand on this barrel pick.
Woo!
It was the first pick for the Cleveland Bourbon Co-op, and we were, appreciated that Carl and Hank brought us in on this, and it's something we'll never forget. So thank you guys very much, and this is awesome. This is really awesome.
I'm gonna flip to the other camera. There you go.
And there it is.
There it is.
The bottle we picked.
All right, guys, you want to have a seat again, and we're going to do a quick
Very nice. Very
exit
nice.
of the show here.
Plaque on there.
Nice.
And if you notice, G, there's a room on that plaque to put some names. And I
Awesome.
think that that's something that I might want to pursue.
Awesome. All right, I'll put that right there. We're going to close it out.
We are going to close it out.
All right, let's do it.
So one quick thing to close out the show. So I'm going to ask you guys. So we got
Let's see.
the Bushmill 16, and yay or nay, Eric?
I give that a 2 thumbs up and have for 10 years.
All right.
You?
2
Doug?
thumbs.
All right, good. Karen?
I loved it. Very good.
Me? Yeah, it's one of my favorite fucking drinks.
Yeah. 2 thumbs and a pinky toe.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Carl?
I 2 thumbs up for a guy that doesn't do a lot. I would pay for that bottle, the price. I think it's well worth it, and I think everybody, if you want to have a good Irish whiskey on hand, that's the one to have.
All right.
Cool. Eric, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. 2 thumbs up?
I'm a 1.5 thumb.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Doug?
Yeah, that's about where I would put it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the 5th on that one.
She hates it. I like it. I like Elijah Craig stuff. Wish I had that other bottle. It's at Heather's dad's house. Got a little bit of the original 12, big little, left. But oh well. Greg.
EC12,
I-
you're talking about? I almost brought one of those for you.
I'm on the 2 thumbs up. I actually like it. I've
I
had
love
it.
Elijah
I've had it
products.
before, and
Yeah.
a little bit higher proof, and I've liked it right away. So I'm with it. I dig it.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
You know what?
Obviously.
I think it's straightforward, solid, good juice that that I think should be cut a little bit,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah,
you cut it to your taste. You know what I mean? And for me, that's when it comes to a lot of bourbons. That's where I want to be. I don't want them to cut it for me. I want to cut it myself.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
2
good
thumbs
point.
up. I would
All
have.
right.
And that's it, guys. That's the Whiskey Roundtable, and that's we are your hosts. I'm Joe Clark.
Big G.
Here in Helen Keller.
Doc Dunbar. Hey, thanks for staying up late with us tonight. I appreciate it. We'll catch you next week, kids.
Long show.
And go Tribe. They're
Let's
starting
go.
tomorrow.
All right.
All right, guys.
All right.